Josh, what's up?
Hey Ty, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, hanging in there.
Awesome. Well, you just got back from what, the beach? Weekend at the beach? Is that right?
Yeah, I was down in Delaware, the Delaware beaches. So it was a nice weekend down there. Although it kind of rained yesterday, and the chop it was really choppy yesterday. I think there's another hurricane coming, but it was nice to
And
be down there.
nice. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
I think Morgan
Um,
was down in Delaware at the same time last weekend too. But it was
yeah, I was talking to him the other day and he said he had just bought a beach house, like they just signed on it or closed on it.
oh nice.
Yeah, so I think he's been talking about going to Rehoboth Beach, running from DC to Rehoboth Beach for like a while because I guess that's where someone in his family already lives there and they've been
Yeah,
buying a beach house there. And yeah, he's been talking about this one run he wants to do. He just gets these crazy ideas and do that where it's like
I don't know how
he's
you
gonna
do you.
that
That would be a long run because I don't think you can run over the Bay Bridge. I mean,
right. So that's
is
what
he
he was
gonna
talking
try?
about. He was gonna either swim or kayak across the bay.
Okay, kayak would be pretty epic. I don't think you could swim
Yeah,
that far.
he said it's like 10 kilometers or something,
That
which sounds like a lot.
that's not you can't he swim.
I think he would drown. Mike
Yeah,
is
that's
superhuman, but
like
I don't
open
think he's
ocean swimming,
superhuman
man.
swimmer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, cool. I'm glad we're here. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I want to hear. So we just put uh oh, hello.
This is
What's up?
Margot.
Hey, Margot. How's it
You gonna
going?
watch? You gonna listen to me talk about running?
I'm only 4.
Okay, you can't take over.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
you're gonna listen. Okay. Okay.
Margot, are you a runner yet? No, not yet.
Daddy has my old stroller, but I don't sit in it anymore. Daddy used to
Ah,
run in it.
got it.
I'm too scared.
Okay. It's time for you to be quiet. Okay.
Are you gonna push the stroller with your dad in it now that you're older? Yeah,
You think
that sounds good.
I could get down with an adult-sized stroller to ride in? Like,
Yeah, it
you know
sounds fun. Um, awesome. Okay, well let's get into it. I want to talk. So we posted a blog, kind of your race recap. That was one of our throwback race recaps from this week.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about that because there were some really cool, I felt, lessons in there, and then also just talk a little bit about what you're doing. Chosky Challenge that's coming up
Yeah.
less than a month now, and like how your training's been going.
Yeah.
So let's actually start there. Like, 2020 has been a weird year for a lot of us. What's it been like for you? What has your kind of running been like the last 8 months?
It's actually been pretty good and pretty consistent. Starting back in March, when everything went to like work remotely and work from home, that actually kind of helped me a lot because it's like I don't have to get up at 5 in the morning to run anymore. So now for most of March and April and May, I was running in the afternoon at like 3 o'clock after I had a nice day of work put in, and then just go do my run when I felt way more rested. Then that kind of got flipped on its head when like all of a sudden it got hot. Like my calendar in my head wasn't really working. I was like, it'll just stay like this forever. It's not going to get hot here in Pennsylvania, and I'll just keep running at 2:30 or 3 o'clock every afternoon. And then that was a rude awakening. I was like, oh wait, there has like been like 4 months that has passed. But yeah, I was supposed to be training for the well, it's not Graham. It's the Gary Bjorkland half marathon in
Yep.
which is actually the race that was in my race report, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I was training for that race, half marathon focused, and then when it started becoming evident that the race was probably going to be canceled, my coach and I kind of just transitioned away from we're like, all right, we don't want to beat ourselves up training for a half marathon if there's not going to be a half marathon. So let's do some shorter workouts, some faster workouts, and do
Nice.
do some virtual mile series, and luckily there were enough guys in my club that I run with here that we had a lot of fun with the virtual miles. We did the McCurdy series.
Oh, nice.
7 or 8 of us did it, and so we found this stretch of road that was just a little bit not just right at the threshold for what the downhill limit was. And it was a 200-mile straight shot, and we just went out there like every Saturday for like 2 months straight and just like ripped downhill miles down it. And we like staggered our start, so like everybody was supposed to finish right around the same time, and we called it the Social Distance Classic.
Nice. That's
so
awesome.
That was kind of what we did to kind of try to have fun in that was May and June. So I ran 4:16 there, which was the fastest mile I've ever run.
Whew.
So that was fun. And then
how downhill are we talking? Like, if you put that 4:16 on a track, what do you think it would be?
It was minimal. The maximum allowable downhill was 1% grade.
Okay.
So the Strava grade adjusted pace tool I think they added like 3 or 4 seconds to it.
Yeah, that's
but
probably what I
expect.
Yeah.
So you're not really in a race. So I kind of figure it's fairly legit if you kind of put it onto a track surface in a real race with a lot of competition. So I think it was a pretty good effort. Regardless, we were just having fun. Yeah, so that was that. And then there was one real race that was scheduled in our area in the end of July, and everyone in my club was like, all right, we're all gonna sign up and we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be a real race. But by that point I was like, my body was pretty beat from racing like 6 downhill miles in the span of 2 months. So I just kind of kept training along just to get through that race, and I took a little bit of a break for 2 weeks after that. But yeah, I didn't have a hard time getting motivated to go out there with no big races, because we kind of made our own fun to kind of keep ourselves motivated. So it was a good time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, I think it's great to hear people like having fun, like you said, and just like figuring out ways to make little competitions between themselves, whether it's in a group like yours or virtually across the country. It's been super cool to see that. Yeah. I mean, you just gotta kind of use running as one kind of normal thing that we have for ourselves right now. Definitely. Luckily, where I live, there's not really a ton of like strictly enforced, like you must wear a mask when you're running or other. I don't know what I would do if that was the case. That might prevent me from running. It's tough in the summertime, that's for sure. Yeah. But yeah, now I'm starting to took my little 2-week rest and recovery, and had some busy travel time for work, so I wasn't training that much there anyway. It's kind of a good timing, but now I'm excited to kind of ramp back up, and hopefully, I think, try to run some fast 5K, 10Ks this fall. Awesome. Yeah. And do you have, where you are there actual in-person road races that you have on the calendar? Is it more kind of virtual stuff or time trials that you have set up for yourself?
We have one in the end of September, as long as Pennsylvania gets to stay, as long as we can stay in the green phase. There's a 5-miler at the end of September that is planning to go ahead as scheduled. Maximum 250 people in the race. But then after that, I don't really know much that's on the schedule. I think we'll probably try and do some time trials, and hopefully Nike releases their Dragonfly spikes for everyone, and I can put those on and run a PR on the track with those. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I gotta ask if you watched the Monaco Diamond League.
I saw bits and pieces of it because I was at the beach, and then just watching the highlights was incredible. The reactions from my friends range from mildly skeptical to highly skeptical. But I don't know. I think the pacing technology has to help a lot. The wave light or whatever they call it that was like on the edge of the track. So, I mean, it's kind of incredible what the human body can be capable of. I mean, he basically ran 4-minute pace for 3 miles. And it was a big deal. It was like one of the greatest athletic accomplishments of all time when somebody ran 3:59, and now he's basically capable of doing it for 3 miles. But pretty crazy.
Yeah, I thought the pacing stuff was really interesting too, and it's funny. I was a mechanical engineer in college. Were you mechie or civil?
I'm civil.
You're civil engineer. So there was a guy who was on the cross country team when I was in college who was also a mechie. And I think that he designed something kind of like that and built like a prototype version. And I think that his was an actual like robot that moved instead of like a LED thing that just had the lights going across. I think it was more like those cameras that move across the track. But this was like 10 years ago, so it kind of surprised me that it took them that long to do that, because it seemed like kind of a no-brainer. You know, like even virtually, like on the broadcast, like swimming has been doing it forever, you know, and I think that having those like lines on the track so you can see where the pace is would be super helpful as a spectator, and even more so for the athletes, obviously. But the thing that I found really interesting was that it still seemed like the Pacers screwed up. But like, I don't know if you watched the men's 1500, but like they went out in 52. I'm like, dude, the green lights are way back there, man.
But Chariot went with him though. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He went like 52, 58, and then like held on and ran. I don't know. It
was the same. He could have. I think he could have run close to the world record if he'd run a little bit more conservative in that first lap. Probably could have run 3:26, 3:27. Yeah. Crazy.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see how many of the professionals are running these incredible times. Even if you look at like the Bowerman women running 14:23 or whatever. I mean, and maybe not having an entire season with 7 or 8 races to worry about and just one at the end. People have trained a lot smarter and healthier the whole winter and spring, and then in the summer they're ready to get after it.
Yeah, I think it just calls into question like the idea that you need like a huge international field to run really fast. Like those, you know, there's definitely something to be said for like, we're just going to go out to our home track with our team. They're going to pace us. We're just going to do this, and like we can set up the timing and day whenever we want. Like, I think there's a lot to be said for that, and clearly people are running really well like that. And the BTC women, and I mean, props to Shelby because she actively has been very, very vocal in saying like, "Hey, I ran in like an old pair of Batumbos or something. I can't remember what like
she ran in like
it is, but like." But she was running like some old spikes, and it's like, so no one can fault her for wearing the wrong shoes. And I think, you know, that's one of the things that whenever it comes up nowadays in running, whenever people run really fast, especially in the last couple of years. But, you know, that's when you said like, oh, my friends were really skeptical or slightly skeptical. It's like, I think I probably fall somewhere on that spectrum. I'm like, man, that Mark is so insane. And he looked so smooth doing it. Like the last 3 laps, he looked like unreal. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, his form didn't break down once.
Yeah,
it's pretty incredible.
I like the conspiracy theory that Monaco is a short track too, because everybody always runs really fast at Monaco.
That comes out all the time. The Monaco and the Swarthmore track are both short.
Yeah, the Swarthmore track too.
397 meters.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I think even if you follow Kyle Merber, remember he ran like the collegiate record at Swarthmore out of nowhere? I was there that
Yep.
year. We watched. It was like Nick Willis paced them through 1,300 meters, and then stepped off the track at like 1,300 meters. It's like, well, you just finished it, buddy. But like every once in a while, Kyle, I think Merber will like refer to it as like the Swarthmore 1,495 meters, just to be kind of poke fun at himself.
Yeah. I love that he kind of engages the trolls, like
Yeah.
kind of like self-deprecating. I've always liked that about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, let's see. I guess let's talk about Chosky Challenge a little bit. So I think we'll probably. So you're going to be on Chosky's elite team. We've got a pretty loaded field.
Yeah.
We're going to have you, Kyle Masterson, and Trevor Capra is going to be our team.
Okay.
So are you thinking 8-mile leg or 10K leg? Which are you better suited for?
I think the 10K is probably better for me right now. Yeah, I'd probably lace up the spikes and try and throw one down on the track.
You think you do that? You think you just do a track 10K?
I think that'd be easier if I can get pacers to get people to
Yeah.
help pace me along. Yeah. Or maybe one. Well, you want it. It has to be like a measured out loop. I think it'd be easier to just do it on the.
Track is the simplest. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I'm thinking. Get on the track, see what I can do, see if I can get close to my college PR for the 10K.
Which is what? Remind us.
30:48. So
30:48. All right. Let's see it. That's the number to beat.
Just a little
Nice.
under 5-minute pace.
Perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
And do you have guys who could pace you for like a continuous portion, or would you have like the Kipchoge thing where people are hopping in and out?
I have a handful of guys that are all capable of at least running a couple of 5-minute miles. One of my buddies just ran 4:14 on that same downhill mile that we were all doing. And then
Nice.
One of my other buddies just ran 15:15. So we've got a pretty good little crew here in Harrisburg. We're all kind of bummed that I don't think cross country is going to happen in the winter, because that's what we were all hoping to train for. But yeah, I'll have some help, I think.
Awesome.
And then I think you know Fred Joslin, right? Do you know Fred?
Oh yeah, he was on the 50K team with me, like, I don't know, 2016 maybe.
Yeah, he lives here now. He lives in Pennsylvania now, and he claims that he can pace. He claims that he is metronome. He's like the best pacer around. That's what he claims is his gift now, because he can't really. He can't really do the hard speed anymore. But he's like, if you want a 5-minute mile, I can run it like 5.00.
It's funny that you say that, because I'm pretty sure that this is an accurate story, that it was Fred who in 2016 he ran the ComSat US 50K champs to qualify for the Worlds team. Mm-hmm. And I remember looking at the results, and because you had to run under 3 hours was the standard, which is 18 flat 5K pace, and he ran. I can't remember what the pace was, but it was like between like 17:45 and 17:50 for like every single 5K, which is like incredibly hard to do in a 50K. It's insane how hard that is to do. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah. That is what he did.
That's so cool. Yeah. Well, that's funny, because like as soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that was that guy.
Just a second, Margo, honey. So he's our kind of leader of our little crew here. So he'll be helping out. Yep.
Cool. Well, say hi to him. I'll let you wrap this up. I'll let you and Margo go enjoy the rest of your afternoon. But yeah, it's great to chat. Great to catch up. Hope you guys have a great, safe build up here to the race. And we'll be in touch. We'll be psyched to see how things go.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Have a good one, man.
All right. You too. Bye.
See ya.